Just getting ready to do some work on the farm. See, I got my help here, totally engaged. So yeah, here's the back patio. Right? Pardon the landscape view, it just can't really hold the phone. I'm drinking a cup of coffee. So there's the grill. All right, we put this giant patio in, and it goes all the way to here, and it extends the entire length of the house. And then here's like a little bar area you can chill. That's the grill, obviously. This thing is a little service bar, right? There's a drain there. It just goes to a bucket underneath, though. There's no running water, but you fill this up with ice, you can use it. And we got a fridge right there, and then the grill, which is totally bitchin'. Little grill light goes to there, and then here's the ceiling. So we put this thing in, and these are 4x12s, 6x12s. I don't know. They're freaking huge. Like that's like 11.5. It's huge. It's huge. They're giant beams. We could build another story on top of this thing. We put skylights in to let light in because this window's the main source of natural light for the living area. So we didn't want to cheat it, and it actually came out great. Like it came out great. So we put all these ceiling fans in, 3 of them, and they're lights. They're all hot wired on, so we have remotes to turn them on. It's kind of cool. So it's not like there's minimal switches. And then we got these bad boys, these heaters. They are awesome. They're electric heat. All the wires are in the beams, so you can't see them. But you turn these things on. I'll come out here in shorts when it's cold and just sit out here. And then this is like the patio seating area, just kind of chill. At night we flick these fans on and it keeps the mosquitoes away. So this is the back patio. And we got a picnic table that the carpenter built for us with scrap wood from the ceiling. So that's a 2x6, and it's tongue and groove, and this is just scrap wood, so he built the picnic table. And if you look at the underside, you can see kind of how there's no seams and the boards kind of connect all together. So there's a close-up of the heater. So yeah, there's the patio. It's awesome. It's just awesome. If there's a problem with it, it's that, you see that red line? That's kind of where the concrete came up to, and it's sinking. So water, when it rains hard, gathers in this spot, and I gotta sweep it out. Like if this was, if we lived in like Minnesota, this would be a huge problem. If we lived in Minnesota, it probably would be more than probably be a covered porch. But anyway, it's somewhat annoying. How is this fucking grind here? But it's not a terrible deal breaker. We can manage it, you know. So it kind of sucks, but it's alright though. This is the carpet I was talking about. See this thing? This is just a little carpet. So we put this stuff in. It was all dirt, and I nailed it in. These are spikes pounded into washers just to keep it down, and it's just great. You know, the kids just kind of wipe their feet as they come on in. You set up the bean bags right there on it. This is one area right here, and then I got tape down there for the other one, and then at night turn these floodlights on, and also you can turn on these lights for the patio, and it you know, it looks like Jesus is coming back to the people across the canyon. So trampoline, and let's go check out the farm. So I guess we'll start from left to right, or whatever. This side, who gives a shit. Here's a little fire pit area, right? Built this out of bricks. It's kind of been dry, so we're not burning much wood lately. I don't want to make the news, but this is just scrap wood left over from the projects, and people have been giving me wood, like scrap wood or whatever, you know, and I cut it up and throw it under here and have a little bonfire. This is the herb garden. It's kind of an afterthought. It's made from scrap wood and these bricks for planter boxes. Don't use these bricks. They're expensive and they're just it's way cheaper to use wood. Here's a tomato plant that our neighbor gave us, and we just put it in the ground. And if you see here, you can see that this is like chicken wire. So it's just a chicken wire bucket. And we put it in, and it's to keep the gophers away, and it's growing. I mean, I built this little tripod deal, and then I strung up all the tomatoes that were growing to get them some sun. And if you look here, it's just an old tent pole. I pounded in the ground on all 3 areas so it doesn't fall over. It works great. Rosemary is supposed to keep the angry animals away that eat your shit, but who the fuck knows. And then these little houses are where we got the rat traps in, just so that don't step on them and whatever. So, and then here, this is the coup de grace here. These are the planter boxes that I built. These are the first things that we put in. No, hold on. Some carnage. Yeah, you dirty rotten son of a bitch. We'll take care of that asshole later, but we got one. Anyway, so this is a tomato plant back there. Kind of see. Down here we got beans, and then arugula. We had another tomato plant in here, but it was just completely filled with green, and there was no flowering on it because they were competing with each other. So we took it out, and then this guy just started to go off. It's just going off. Kind of sweet. So by the way, these things are retractable, right? But we leave them open so the bees can come in. It's the sides that are the main concern. See, this thing goes off. You kind of take, they either, depending upon where they are, they either come right off or they flip up. The outside ones flip up. The inside ones come right off because you can't hinge something if you don't have enough room to open it, so to speak. So yeah, it's this planter box. Kind of show you this example of what I did here. You can kind of see that I used this thing's propped up, and I used string, and I got everything strung up. All right, so it's kind of how we're stringing stuff up. This planter box, we've got, this is a tomato that grew from seed, a Marzano tomato. What's really cool about it is this is kind of how this is the tomato plant that I figured out how to grow tomatoes. So you kind of see on this thing that there's one stalk. So basically what happens, what you should do if you want to grow like a vertical garden, which is what we're trying to do, we're trying to maximize the footprint and grow up, you should minimize the amount of shoots off to to this one. Like you see this tomato plant has a bunch coming off it. It's not so bad for this variety. It's a bush plant, which is better. This is more of a vine plant like the other two. So you kind of see that I'm just stringing it up, and it's following one stem. And you can already see down here, you got tomatoes coming in. All right, it's kind of cool. Some more tomatoes there, and some more tomatoes and the flowers there. This thing right there this is a beefsteak plant. The tomato better bush, it's coming along great. These are snow peas, pretty wild. I built this little ladder thing out of old tent poles, and you know, just wood, you know. Kind of see it. It's kind of cool. That's this one. Here we have the blueberry bushes. I built this thing just to come off it. I don't want to take it all off because I only have one hand, but this whole thing comes off. All right, I got these cleats down here just to hold it on. It keeps the birds away from it. So we pull it off and then harvest the berries, but they kind of tapered off. I got to read up on them, because I'm not quite sure why we're not getting blueberries anymore. I don't understand what might have happened. I moved them around because we put some other stuff in, but I don't know. I'm confused about it. Pardon the camera moving around here. So these are cucumbers. These took a heck of a long time to get started. And I think it's because the infrastructure, the structure of this top, excuse me, blocks the sun. But once they started growing, boom, you know? Like you can see, this plant was planted the same time as these other three. And it's just getting blocked out. So, I don't know. We're waiting for cucumbers to start forming. You can kind of see where they're coming in here, right? Like here, but there's the female flower, but the male flower hasn't bloomed yet. So you can't, I can pollinate them with a Q-tip or something, but it hasn't happened yet. It's kind of bummed me out. But anyway, it's just a pepper plant. It's a red pepper. So it's the green pepper down here. It hasn't quite turned yet, right? Red bell pepper. This is my lettuce patch that fucking rabbit crushed, but it's coming along nice. I'm not quite sure that it's the best spot to grow lettuce in here, but due to the sun or whatever, but who knows? We're just trying shit. And right here, you look, you can barely see it. That's spinach coming in. That's newly planted. There's a little basil plant, and then back around snow peas. We had some carrots in this little alley, but they sucked. Carrots don't grow well with other stuff, so we pulled them out. This is a zucchini or summer squash. We don't know what the hell it is, but it gave us one thing. This is the male flower, and you gotta wait for the female flower to form, and the female flower actually looks like a little, like this is a female flower. Right there, you kind of see it actually looks like one of these things, but they're all kind of dying. I don't know what's going on. They're not blooming, so who knows what's going on. Here we have a cantaloupe. So it's too big for the pot, so I'm training it up on this little lattice we bought. Here's just a hodgepodge of basil, just some carrot seeds that I had, seeing what they would do, kind of experiment. This is pumpkin that we had, so I'm going to build another planter box and put it in the front yard. These two pumpkins, just to kind of a little bit of a decoration. They should start taking off. You can see something's eating it, but I don't have a free hand. I got coffee right now. Here's the corn, which kind of, I mean, I was super pumped about this, but I didn't build this planter box, by the way. I built all the other ones. I bought it. I fertilized it, and I don't think you're supposed to do that. And then I watered it too much, so kind of bummed out because this one's actually dead. But they were thriving. They were all green and thriving, and they just up and turned. So I'm hoping they bounce back, because it kind of would suck if we just did nothing. Then if they don't, you know, it's kind of embarrassed all the fucking corn we grew up around. If they don't bounce back, I don't know what to do. Anyway, here's some other pumpkins that we got. We're gonna grow them here. I kind of want to just rip them out because they're just gonna take over this whole space. And then here's just cucumbers in the back. I'll build another ladder. So the deal with planting in a bed is you overseed, and then you thin this out to be like, to give the plants 3 inches between each one. So the density here is probably I probably have 2.5 as many plants that I need here. I'm guessing, just a rough estimate. So I'll go through and pull out the ones that look the weakest, and go from there. And then here is just some more lettuce that I planted. I'm trying to grow lettuce because they say once you get it going, it just goes and goes and goes, and then you should just be able to kind of eat off it. But we haven't figured it out yet. And also, it's pretty susceptible to pests. So you can see it's not, this stuff hasn't even come up. It's a different variety, but this stuff has. Just kind of back up and look. This is the planter box I built from an old fence that my neighbor had, and it really came out awesome. So anyway, I'm out here. This has just been 15 minutes, right? And I'm just showing you what's here. I'll just come out here and lose like an hour and a half, 2 hours just actually working on stuff. Oh shit, the carrots. Oh, there's another tomato plant, by the way. Just kind of seeing what this one does. And then these are carrots that I started. They're kind of planted in a spiral. Again, overseeded, and I'm thinning them out. So yeah, there she is. Flansburgh Farms. All its glory. I gotta water yet. And I gotta fix the dryer. But whatever. I'm playing golf. Hope all's well, dude. It was good talking to you yesterday. There's the best non-ocean view in San Diego. Cheers. We'll talk to you later. One last shot. Oh, the solar. Check it out. All right, late. Bye.